Hey, hello, this is Binni here. How are you? For those in YouTube, I hope that you are streaming in now, Singapore time 7:30, and in Australia time it's 9:30 p.m. Have you had your dinner yet? If you had your dinner, please let me know in the chat box by typing 1. Hey, I see Christopher Sim, Valerie Wong. Nice to see you guys here. That's great. We are still waiting for more people. I can see like more people streaming in. Oh, yes. Thank you. Today, we are happy to have Greg to join us. And now he's in Zoom already. We are streaming live to YouTube. All right. So before this, let's work on the disclaimer. Whatever that's being said here would be just educational, no financial advice, no recommendation to trade. All right, let me just give a brief introduction to Greg. I just had a talk with him. He's now, seated very nicely. I'll just share a little bit about how I met Greg because I was in Sydney last month, right? And I had a very nice lunch with him together with Axi CEO Rajesh. I know Rajesh for a long, long time already, probably about 8 to 10 years ago, and maybe 6 to 8 years ago. And Greg, I met him the first time. We had a very, very nice conversation. And one of the things that caught me was that he was so puzzled of why aren't more people signing up for Axi Select, because it's just such a wonderful program. All right. So one thing I told him about this was great. Axi Select is a beautiful, super pretty girl, and not many people want to go after pretty, super handsome, pretty handsome boy or pretty girl, right? So I thought that this would be a good chance to really ask him to talk about Axi Select. Okay, so I haven't introduced him, right? If you don't know him, then he's in the market for about 17 years of experience as a professional trader. Now he's head of Axi Select. All right. And previously, I think that not only about asking him about Axi Select, I think you can ask him about how to become a successful trader, because he was the head of trading and a trading mentor of an FX firm. And he also was the head of trading for a commodity firm. So a lot of experience. And right now he is heading Axi Select. Right. Now, just to give a bit of introduction of Axi Select, a it's a funded program that's where you don't need to pay monthly fees, because a lot of funded programs, you have to pay monthly fee, right? This program, it doesn't pay monthly fee. In fact, that your funds that you deposited would be your trading capital. So this is one thing that I loved, okay? Now, so I also want to introduce myself. So my name is Binni. And of course, that's a lot of you guys are trained by me, but we have also people who are new to us. So for those who are my students, please hit the loved like button right now to show that you are my student. Okay, let's hit the love button. I'm just going to hit the love button right now, right? Yes. Okay, just give some love to this today's stream. Thanks a lot. I can see tons and tons of love right now. All right, I won't introduce myself, but later on I share a little bit about what I'm doing, what I'm trading, and also about our program. Okay, because our program has this very nice refund where the course fee is fully refunded. I think that's a catch, right? But you have to love our program because I've counted, right? We are and we will be doing at least 300 webinars in a year. Can you imagine 300 webinars in a year? That's almost like every week about 6 or 7 webinars, right, in a year. That is how we are growing our students, making them better trader. That's why today's theme will be how to become a successful trader. I just wanted to share this, which I share every session, is what we are trading. So morning exercise, forex, indexes, commodities, stocks, anything with Thor, and lastly we end the day with sleeping. Okay. All right. So today I just want to talk about the theme of what we are doing today is to become a successful trader. Not only that, you want to be funded. That means that how can you get funded money, not your own funds, but also additional funds from Axi to become a successful funded traders. So let me just invite Greg here. Greg, are you around?
Hi, Binni. I'm here.
Yeah, okay. Let me just
Hello, everyone.
stop my sharing, and that's Greg. Okay. All right, Greg. Before this, I think that let's just introduce a little bit more about Axi Select. Then we go for some Q&A. We agree with Greg that I can just ask him any questions. He told me just now he's not afraid. He's not hiding anything. So I'm just gonna bomb him with all the questions. And you guys remember to ask any questions that you have to Greg. Okay, Greg, let's start your sharing.
Sure. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Excellent. All right. So I'm just going to go through just a brief synopsis of Axi Select, starting with what it is, our product offering, how it works, comparing us to the industry, and then just summarizing it. So what is Axi Select? A unique all-inclusive capital allocation program. We provide funding and a structured and fair pathway for traders to reach their trading potential. And ultimately, we give skilled traders a genuine platform to become professional traders. Now, everything about Axi Select can be epitomized by those first two words. They're unique and all-inclusive. We are unique because we've created a program that has revolutionized the market. It's the only one of its kind with the current model that we operate in. And the all-inclusive part is, yes, we offer a very generous program in terms of funding, but we pride ourselves on not just being a funding program, but also providing tools that traders we believe need to succeed. Our program is very much a trader-centric program, and we've created a whole structure on what we believe will assist traders in their journey. So our offer does extend further than just funds. We have tools such as an edge score, a dashboard. We have a trading room with a community where we have live videos and the ability for traders to interact directly with professional traders. So in a nutshell, we provide funding and all the tools needed for traders. Worded differently and in line with Axi, we give traders the edge that they need to succeed. And what do we charge for this offering? Nothing. There are no hidden costs. Axi Select is 100% free for traders to join. So what is the product offering? 100% free to join, no registration fees. What we do require, just to make sure everyone's aware, there is risk involved. We do require traders to deposit their own funds into their own trading account, and we deposit our funds into an allocation account, which the trader is entitled to share in the profits. And we'll go through that as we go through the program structure. So I just want to clarify, there are no fees. We don't charge a fee. It is free to join, but you are required to deposit your own funds, which you can withdraw at any point in time. It's your funds in an account. It's not an account that we touch. It's like a normal broker account. Earn 90% of the profits on $1 million of our funds. Unrestricted trading conditions and a structured pathway that provides a fair and real opportunity for traders. Now, this for me is probably the most important point. You know, when people look for funded programs, they generally look for three things. They go, and those three things can be seen in these first 2 points. What is the registration fee? What percentage will you give me? And how many funds can I trade up to? But all of that is actually irrelevant if you have very difficult trading conditions or the barriers in your way to be able to produce or to trade and be able to produce profits. And this is where we differ significantly from our competitors, is we do not have any restrictions. Let me rephrase. We've got two restrictions, realistically. One is you can't lose 10% per stage. And if you do, you go to quarantine, you get 3 attempts versus making 5% to progress. So again, 10% lose for 5% gain is actually in the trader's favor. And we don't allow copy trading with EAs. So those are the only real restrictions. When it comes to things like news events, you can trade on news events, you can hold positions on over weekends. There's no daily loss limit. There's no penalized for high watermark levels. We allow traders to express themselves with the real live account, use the same controls that our traders have at the, our clients of Axi, the broker clients that we have at our broker. And that is very important. You have a free flexibility to trade how you see fit in your own time. There's no minimum, there's no maximum days that you have per stage. There is a minimum requirement, but that's not going to affect performance. That's just something that does take time, as again, we need to see proof of performance or ability to generate profits over time, over a certain amount of trades. We have a trading score, the edge score, which is a score we created in-house, which consists of four key subcomponents. And the idea behind is that not only governs your progression through the program, but it's also there to see which parts of your trading you're struggling on or which parts are better. And the idea of it is to assist the trader to improve. We have a dashboard, which has analytics and stats. We have an exclusive online trading room. And I'll give a sneak peek in this webinar. We are looking to ramp up that trading room with frequent webinars, more frequent analysis. So we're putting a lot of emphasis on really improving that trading room at the moment. And of course, something that's very important, you can interact with professional traders in there, share analysis. There's daily analysis that goes on in there, which again is an important part in the learning process. We're a global broker. Client funds are safe with us. We have a reputation and responsibility to uphold. We can't just run off with client funds shut down, right? A lot of the competitors in our space are smaller firms, sort of marketing firms that have set up. Most of them are non-financial firms. Of course, there are some financial firms, but ultimately, we're not a fly-by-night company. We've been around for 16 years. Axi Select, important to note, is only available to SVG. But as a global broker, we have reputations to uphold, and certainly something that we take seriously in terms of our reputation. So how does Axi Select work? So we have 6 stages. So to qualify for the Axi Select, you need to meet 2 criteria. You need to deposit a minimum of $500 into your Axi Select account, and you need to achieve an edge score of 50. Once you've done that, you qualify for the program and you start at the seed stage. We will immediately open up an allocation account of our funding with $5,000. And at this stage, you are entitled to access to the trading room and access to the dashboard and the leaderboard. Okay, there is no profit share at this stage. But you do, once you qualify, you get access to the dashboard and the trading room, and you need to make 5%. So you can see you need to make 5% profit per month and not lose 10%. Those are the 2 main criteria. Without going through all the stages, you can see the sort of difference. The minimum equity is 500, 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, and we provide funding 5,000, 20,000, 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, $1 million. I just want to go over how the multiplier works and how the trading works. So let's say you're in incubation with $1,000. So you get to choose on how the trades are copied. So what happens is, in this example, if you deposit $1,000, we will deposit $10,000, right? The maximum is 20,000. And a copy is at 10 to 1. So if you put in 2,000, we'll put in 20,000. If you buy, whatever you buy, we will buy 10 times the amount in the allocation account. If you decide that 10 times is too much, you want this to be copied at less, well, if you put $4,000 into your Axi Select account, we will still put $20,000 in the allocation account. And instead of this being 10 times, trades will then be copied at 5 times. So you as a trader have the power, or you have the authority to choose on how, the controls to choose on how much this multiplier you would like. With regards to the profit, at the end of the month, all profit that's owed to you, and you'll be able to see in the dashboard at any point in time what the projected profit is automatically paid from the allocation account into your Axi Select account. Okay, so the payouts are all automatic, straight from the Axi Select account, allocation account into your Axi Select account, and then you can decide what you want to do with it before you place a trade. You decide on reset your multiplier by if you want to deposit more funds or if you want to withdraw the funds. It's totally up to you what you decide to do, and that will then reset the funding. So how is Axi Select different to the industry? Well, no registration fees. All our competitors charge a registration fee. We have no evaluations. Most firms have 2 evaluation firms. Some have 1 evaluation firms. The restrictive trading conditions, I sort of explained that in the earlier slide. We don't have restrictions on your trading. Most of the competitors have some of those rules. There's been a switch recently to include more and more rules. That's sort of been what's gone on recent events in the industry. But we pride ourselves on giving you fair conditions. We give you 3 attempts at the program. Right, the industry standard is lose that percentage, you get the hard breach email, and you've got to pay a registration fee to start. We give you 3 attempts. We understand that trading is difficult. I say that all the time. We don't pretend everybody's going to get $1 million. But we know every trader goes through bad periods. We're not going to kick you off the program through one bad period, which is why we've invented the quarantine, and you get 3 attempts at the program. Our program structure is holistic. It's long-term, realistic to progress. The industry standard is potential for large amounts of funding quickly. So I describe the industry standard model as more for speculating, almost a lottery. You buy a ticket, you try to place a couple big trades, try to get on the program, pass the funding. You can see the statistics of traders who actually get funding at these programs. You can see that on Google. Where Axi Select is very much based around a trader-centric program. I don't like the terminology, but it's built by traders for traders. We're not telling you it's easy. We're not dangling a carrot in front of you saying trade 200,000 of our dollars after a week at all. I'll tell you and I'll tell everyone, trading is a very, very difficult game, but we have a fair structure. We give you the tools that you need. We give you a program that gives you a fair opportunity. And that is something that is noted with our actual program structure. We firmly believe our program structure is much better aligned for traders to generate profits than by paying a registration fee and having stringent trading conditions. Our leverage is 100 to 1. Competitors vary 20 to 1, 30 to 1, 50 to 1. Some are 100 to 1, but 100 to 1 is certainly on the higher end. We use real trading accounts. There are no demos on the Axi Select program. Industry standards use demo accounts. And then our additional tools, dashboard, leaderboard, edge score, trading room. Industry standard, competitors all have some form of tools, but I believe our list is very comprehensive relative to other programs. So just to summarize that, we're a one-of-a-kind capital allocation program. We offer a pathway for traders to access capital funding up to $1 million, earn 90% of the profits. Axi Select is for traders of all levels who can join without paying a registration fee. Trade your ed with unrestricted trading conditions. Axi Select comes with its ed score, dashboard, leaderboard, trading room, and educational videos from professional traders. Any questions on that?
Hey, Greg, I think that there are more questions coming up. So,
okay.
But first, let me just give you like 2 questions I have.
Sure.
All right. So first question to Greg, I'm just going to ask for all of you, but you can just, ask the questions at the chat for YouTube as well as into our onlinequestions.org, which I've sent you the event number. I think that first question I have, right, as far as what I understand from Greg, would be that whoever who wants to take the Axi Select needs to have a live Axi account, and the minimum funding is 500 USD. The trade would be copied to a live trading account, which is the allocation account. All right. And from there, if there is profit, the money will be shared, right? Okay, which in other words, Axi is providing like free money. Okay, so my question would be, what is it in it for Axi to give the traders this money when we know that there's no free lunch out there? That's my first question.
It's a great question. And if you look at Axi as a broker, we have a tagline, which we've had for many years. It says, trade your edge. What is trading your edge? Ultimately, it's giving an edge to traders. And this is something that Axi have always tried to do. And the thought of Axi Select, one of it was, what can we do to provide a program that actually benefits traders? And that's what we came up with. This is why there's no registration fee, which is why we've created a program that is using our size as a broker to give a fair opportunity to traders. Now, the other flip side of it, and the sort of side from a business side, ultimately, what is the job of a broker? How do brokers make money? Ultimately, they need to attract clients. And when you're offering a program, we all firmly believe with Axi Select, it's beneficial to traders, that it's going to naturally attract traders to Axi, which we are seeing. And we've got very good offerings at Axi. So naturally, it brings more traders into the Axi ecosystem. So it's a win-win from a business side. We believe it's a win for a trader side. And that's why we've been able to offer this. It's the edge that we're giving traders. So it's not just a strap line. And ultimately, with this offering, we are attracting traders to Axi. And that's how we operate, how all brokers operate to make money. You attract traders.
Okay, that's great. So one of the advantage is that traders do not need to pay like a registration fee, and they just need to have an Axi account, and automatically by getting an Axi account, they get an Axi Select account. Am I right to say that?
Yes. So you can choose if you don't want one, but ultimately you get the option when you sign up. It will ask you if you would like an Axi Select account. I'll give you the introduction. So all SVG clients can get an Axi Select account, and it doesn't cost anything.
Yeah. Are you able to give a breakdown of the, percentage of people who have progressed successfully to different stages? Like, for example, from the first seed stage, to the next stage, and then subsequently, maybe, the percentage of people who to get funded like $1 million to the final stage?
Yeah. So we only launched in September. It was a soft launch in September last year. So we've only been around for 8 months so far. We currently have 2 traders at the pro stage. We had 3. One went to quarantine. So we have quite a few at acceleration. I can get the exact figure out for you. We got quite a few at acceleration, which is the stage before pro.
The reason why I want to ask this is because many years ago, I remember Axi ran a trading competition and our students participated. One of the things I was told that our students took the second and the third place in that trading competition. I think you haven't joined Axi yet. Yeah. And the first place was taken by a trainer in Australia. And the trainer only placed one trade to make it to the first place. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so our students traded many trades and make it to the second and third place, right? Is there a reason why you wanted to make like every month or every stage to make sure that they trade like X number of trades? Is there a reason for this?
Yes. So again, it's important to note that our program is real. When we give you funding, we need to make sure that you can trade with, ultimately it's very different to the industry standard model where it is promoting get $200,000 very quickly. We're going to give you real money. We need to make sure you can show your performance after a certain amount of trades and after a certain amount of time. We want to make sure we avoid people who are trying to take a punt on huge size to try and speculate, right? Ultimately, we want to find and unearth talented traders. So it's important to acknowledge that the reason our program is holistic, it is slower, is because it's real. There are many firms that are going to give you $200,000 in 2 weeks if they really believe you're going to have access to those funds. So it's important for us to see your trading ability after a certain amount of trades. And it's important for us to have these measures in place from a risk management perspective as well.
Okay. I think that's clear a lot of my questions, but we do have a lot of questions from my clients and as well as viewers out there. We have about 153 watching the session right now and more joining. So let's take the first question. Greg, are you able to see my screen right now?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I think the first question would be, how is the edge score derived?
So it's a catch-22 with this one, because we can't give our formulas away, else our system's going to get gamed. But we want to be more transparent and give more information. So what I can say is two things. One, it's divided into the subcomponents which we share on our website, the risks, the experience, skill, and consistency. But we are working on something which is approved. We're just currently building out the APIs and doing the dev work for it, where we're actually going to show every individual trader in their dashboard what's affecting the score the most, what they can do to improve the score, what will improve the score the most to reach the 90 level, which is to make it to pro. So that is our first improvement that we are implementing. Again, I can't give a timeline on it. Still got to go through some of the dev work, but ultimately it's going to be a table showing the list of things that's affecting your account and in order what you can do to improve your account, to improve it. And these are direct translations ultimately from some of the formulas that we have. So it's kind of a delicate situation. We want to give more. We're trying to give more, but we can't say to you, here is the edge score, because there'll be people who are game that and find a way to get scores of 95, 96, which is obviously not something we can give away. We've also spent a significant amount of time to create the score with the different components and the different formulas. We're not just going to say, here it is, unfortunately. So I can't give you much more than that. What I can say is soon, hopefully, we are working hard to get that live into the dashboard.
I think related questions would be how to improve the edge score, which would be more relevant, right? Or is the edge score based on the trader's win rate? I think maybe some component of how to, get better edge scores.
Okay, so to give you some brief part to it, it's the three components: your skill, consistency, and risk. And then there's the experience part, which is the discounting. So how the experience works, that's very simple. There are two factors to it. You need to place 100 trades, and you need to have 30 consecutive days of your account in profit. If you meet those two criteria, your experience will go to 100 and you won't count as a discount to your score. Okay. It's important that it's 30 consecutive days of your total account being positive. So that's for us to make sure someone doesn't place 5 trades and has an experience score of 100, that you can show over 100 trades and that your account's positive for at least 30 trades, that we're not going to discount your score. The skill is very much around the profitability. It's very much around generating profits. If you're making money in your trading account, your skill score would generally be on the higher end. Consistency, we want to see smooth curves. We're going to give you access to a lot of our funds. We don't want to see curves that are going up and down in yo-yo manners. We really want to see consistent gains in the account. We don't want to see those volatility curves that you will be penalized for. The risk one, there are many components in the risk one, but ultimately we do penalize martingale strategy. Traders who aren't placing stop losses, who are taking low risk reward trades, are going to be penalized. If you're taking large losses, win-loss ratio is depicted in that, in a sense, where if you're not managing risk effectively. That's about as much I can give away from a broader sense without going into the actual formulas. Yeah.
Okay. How about does placing like a stop loss that's very far away, does it affect the scoring?
It's not going to affect the scoring per se if you just place a stop loss that's far away. But if you if you're taking big losses and you're taking small profits, and it is going to affect the account. Or if you're not placing stop losses and you're not managing risk, ultimately, if we're going to give you $1 million of our funds, we need to know as a trader, what's the most important thing, Binni? It's to manage risk. That is the most important part. People, when they say to me, you're a trader, you must really know how to pick stocks or assets. I've said, no, not at all. I'm a risk manager, right? Being a good trader is literally about managing risk, being a money manager. So it is the most important component for us, is the risk component in terms of giving funds. So yeah, we want to make sure that you understand and manage risk correctly.
Okay. So next questions would be, if I have an existing Axi account, do I need to create one, or I can use the existing one?
So we do give an advantage to Axi traders in the sense, so when new traders who join Axi will get given an Axi account, an Axi Select account. They'll need to then place 20 trades in their Axi Select account. And if the score's above 50, they can join. For existing Axi traders, we have an edge score on every one of their accounts. If any of their accounts has a score of 50 or more, we automatically allow them to join the seed stage, and then they'll still have to place 20 trades to get a new score for the edge for their new Axi Select account, but they can do this whilst already starting at the seed stage.
Okay, that means that once you have an existing Axi account, you'll be sort of already measured with the score already. And if you pass the seed stage, you'll be upgraded to the next stage, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
you get that advantage. You start at the seed stage.
Okay, that's good. All right. So I've just sent into the chat. If you do want to get an Axi account, you can use the link I've just posted there. And you can just click on that link to get an Axi account. If you apply that, automatically there will be an Axi Select account that's being attached, right? So a lot of my clients are assisting Axi traders. Just log into, do they log into the client portal to look at their edge scores?
Yes, so they can log into the client portal and see their edge score, and they'll be able to see all the individual edge scores, and they'll be able to sign up for the Axi Select program through the client portal as well.
Okay,
There'll
so
be an
let's take
Axi
a look.
Select tab.
All right, that's good. Let's take a look at the next question, right? When there is a profit, it will be shared. What happens when there is a loss?
So the trader has their own Axi Select account. That's their funds in their trading account. They can do what they want with that account. The allocation account is Axi funds. When the trader loses 10% in the allocation account of our funds, we remove our funds for 2 weeks, and when the client goes to quarantine. So that's is our money. It's got nothing to do with the trader. It's not their loss. Ultimately, they would have lost funds in their Axi Select account. That's their account with their funds. So imagine a normal broker account. You put, say, $500 in. We got $5,000 in the allocation account. If you lose $50, we lose $500 in the allocation account. That ultimately gets closed off, and your Axi Select account has $450 in now.
Okay. So what Greg is trying to say is that you have your own Axi Select account, you place a trade, and if you had a loss in your account, Axi allocated account will also have a loss. And they will limit the loss by stopping.
So
yeah.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
We put a stop loss with our funds in Axi Select in the allocation account. You might not have a stop loss in the Axi Select account, then you could lose more than the 10% that we lose in the allocation account, right? So it's your account with your funds. You have total control. We do not stop you out or put any limits in place in that account. That's totally up to you to manage as a trader.
Yeah, but I think that with that 10% drawdown that you have, and you remove the whole program into the quarantine stage, you sort of like stop the traders, and maybe like say the traders, you should take a pause and relook into your trading activities to see whether you still want to continue. If you want, then you can continue to trade as it is, but Axi is probably not going to give you the allocation amount, right?
Well, that's it. You have 2 weeks without the allocation account, where you're still entitled to trade your own account at this point in time, the Axi Select account.
All right. Okay. Let's take a look at the next question. Is the max drawdown based on per trade or cumulative per month?
So the max drawdown is the total drawdown that you can lose. It's the 10% that we have in the allocation account. So it's not to do with one trade. So in other words, let's go to incubation. You have $1,000 in. We have $10,000 in the allocation account. If you lose 10% on that account, $1,000, we will stop out from that account. Doesn't matter if it happens per trade, per multiple trade. It's if any point in time the allocation account balance touches the 10% loss, the allocation account funds are immediately removed. So it's a hard stop at 10% in the allocation account.
Okay, and then they will go back to quarantine 2 weeks. Then they need to get into the seats to continue, and then hopefully to move back into the allocation account, right?
Correct. So once the 2 weeks have passed, if you meet the criteria for the previous stage, you then go straight back to that stage.
Okay.
You click to start that stage again.
Okay. Let's take a look at the next question. What is the required ratio of our own deposited funds versus the funded portion from Axi?
So you can see that in the pathway. It's $500 for $5,000 at the first stage. There's a minimum of 1,000 for a maximum of 20,000. And that sort of goes through to 100,000, 500,000, and $1 million. And it's 2,000, 2,000, 4,000. And that can be seen in the pathway.
All right. And next question would be in the comparison table. I think that you did one comparison. You said that the number of attempts is equal to 3. What does it mean?
So exactly that is you get 3 attempts at quarantine. So let's say you're at the incubation stage and you go to quarantine, you lose 10%, you then return to seed stage. Let's say you then go to acceleration stage and you drop to quarantine, you then return to incubation stage. You then say you go to pro stage and then you drop to quarantine. On the third dropout, you have to restart the program, but you don't get dropped off the program immediately. You get 3 attempts at it. If you make it to pro stage without going to quarantine, you return in 2 weeks back to the pro stage. So you don't have to start from the beginning. It's only after your third drop to quarantine do you have to restart the program from seed.
Okay. If you do have any questions, you can just type your questions in the YouTube chat box as well, so that anything that me and Greg discuss, you can continue by asking questions. All right. So this is a very good way for us to know, especially for Greg who designed the system, the whole program, for him to know what are the concerns and for him to answer your questions. Okay. I think there's a mention that you talk about 5% net of fees. And I guess that's one of the slides that you talk about.
Yeah. So the 5% is what traders need to make in the allocation account. So we show this in the dashboard. We have a table which shows you exactly your progression. So you can always see what that profit is. So you'll know when you've hit the 5%. There'll be a tick that shows you've met the 5%. You'll know when you're at 3%. You'll know when you're at 2%. You'll be able to track that completely. And once you meet that requirement, along with the trade requirements and the score, you then can click a button to start the next stage.
Okay. All right, then next the question will be the profit sharing is returned to the trade as a cash or is it as a credit?
So it's automatically sent from the allocation account to the Axi Select account. And then the trader can decide what they want to do with it. If they want to withdraw it, if they want to keep it in their account, it's totally up to the trader to decide.
So it's their money, right?
It's their money, correct.
Yeah.
It gets automatically transferred to their account.
So to answer that, it's cash. It's something that you can withdraw because that's the profit sharing. In other words, you come up with a certain percentage of your money, but actually, came up with a lot more money. And if both, can make money, right, you do receive that component as a cash. Okay. So I think the one in blue is whether we are able to use copier EA. I guess that you have already answered that. Is there a reason why they are not able to use a copier EA on Axi Select account?
Yes. So this is something we're seeing a lot of at the moment, and we certainly looking to stamp it out. We allow traders to use their own EA, and we allow traders to use an EA if the trades are placed manually, right? Because that's the important part. If you're part of a trading group and you're sharing ideas, you're entitled to use the same analysis to place trades. What we're trying to avoid, Axi Select, the purpose of Axi Select is to find traders who have potential, to give them the ability, the platform. If you're just copying somebody else, that defeats the whole purpose of Axi Select. You know?
I understand.
So it's important to note, as long as the trades, if it's your own EA, there's no problem. If you place the trades manually, there's no problem. But if one EA is placing trades for multiple people, we are going to pick up on that. Or we do pick up on it. And unfortunately, it's not allowed on the program.
Okay, so it means that if they have their own EAs, they are able
Yes.
to use the EAs to trade, right?
Well, the
That they
EAs,
can't copy.
you can, if you take off the auto copying from the EAs so that the EAs doesn't automatically place the trade. You need to manually place all the trades into the Axi Select MT4 account. You can't use other sites or other accounts to place the trades.
Okay. So what if I have an EA, because we do have an EA, which is a trade manager, and that's given to all our students, and they use that EA to place a trade. Is that allowed?
As long as they take the analysis from the EA and then place the trades themselves, it's allowed. If the EA is placing the trades automatically for them, it's not allowed.
Ah, I understand. Okay. That means that they can't take that EA to place the trades in Axi
Correct.
Select account.
They need to take the auto trade off, and the EA which shares the analysis, they can use that analysis and place the trade manually. That they can do. But if one EA is placing the same trade for multiple people, it's not allowed.
Okay. So in other words, we can't use our own trade manager to place a trade. But you can place a trade manually. Okay, this I totally understand. Okay,
Yeah.
I can understand the motivation behind, because then you really wanted to pick up good traders and, to give them the money, to allocate them the money so that you can share the profit. All right, because
going back to your question earlier to me on what's in it for Axi, why do we do this? We certainly don't do this just for one trader to trade on behalf of 100 traders, right? It is for traders to find the edge, to have that extra something. It's not for EAs to trade on people's behalf.
Okay, got it. All right, so I think there's one question from YouTube asking what is an EA. EA is like an expert advisor. That's in MetaTrader terminology, but basically it means an automated trading robot, something like that, where we can use it to help us automatically place a trade or automatically generate a trade. So it's a bit like auto trading type of things, right? So for Axi Select, you have to place the trade manually, or you have to use our suite of indicators to get a conclusion and place it in. So it suits us, all right? Okay, so one last question here, as far as I can see. We have one question here. Given that there are profit sharing entity in this program, would Axi Select account have higher spread commission over other standard account?
No. So the Axi Select account is exactly like our broker accounts. In fact, as a trader, you get to choose. When you sign up, you can choose if you want a pro account or if you want a standard account. So it's the trader's choice. You get the exact same real life account that Axi clients get. No different.
Okay. So there's no markup, there's no differences between as if you would just sign a Axi account.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay. Does Axi act as a market maker, or is there a counterparty to each trade executed by traders?
So we, as a rule of thumb, say we act as the counterparty to all trades. Ultimately, like the broker, we make a decision. The broker, as a broker, we make a decision on what we do with the flow. So
okay, I understand that. Yeah.
There's no definite or what we do or don't do. But
the
yeah,
price feed will be the same. The execution will be the same. Everything will be the same, whether whether Axi is the counterparty, right?
Correct. Yeah. So yes, and we are the market maker in the sense, but ultimately it's the same as the Axi business. As a business, there's methodologies to make decisions on what they do with the flow and how Axi manages flow. It's no different.
So at the seed stage, what is the recommended lot size per trade?
There's no recommendation. Again, this is up to the trader, because you can decide if you want $500 or if you want $5,000 and you wanted to copy it 1-to-1. It depends on what suits your style, right? Everybody has a different. Some people prefer to have lower ratios. Some other people prefer to have higher ratios. It's totally client dependent. There's no recommendation on lot size. And again, you got different instruments which are different monetary values as well. So I don't have a recommended size there.
Yeah, I think that looking at the minimum 500 USD to start off the initial stage, right? I would think that for 500 USD, if you're starting out with 500, then the lot size would be probably for FX, each one would be less than 0.1, which is one mini. I guess that would be probably, maybe 5 micro to start off with. Okay. Yeah.
But it'll be different as well if you're trading indices or you're trading metals or you're trading FX. So it's very difficult to answer that directly.
Yep. Let me just take a look at the last one, which is the last question that we have here. Please continue to put in your questions at the onlinequestions.org. You just have to key in the event number 16037, but we do have questions from YouTube as well. So let's take a look at the last question for the Axi Select. What is the stage duration for number of trades per stage need to be made within the stage durations day? For example, the seed 20 trades to be done within 30 days, maximum loss of minus 10%. Does floating loss counted as par? Oh, okay.
So the trades per stage is the minimum amount of trades that you got to place at each stage.
That's
so
20.
Again, it varies for the different channels. So seed is 20. Not to be done within 30 days. There is no maximum days. You can take as long as you like on all stages. There's no maximum days. There's a minimum days. So in other words, we need to see that you can trade to certain levels. We have a minimum days that you got to do it and a minimum amount of trade. There is no maximum. There's no need to place big trades to rush to get through because you have a time limit. You have unlimited time at each stage. The maximum loss of 10%, yes, it is a floating loss. As soon as the allocation account, if it touches 10% equity at any point in time, it will get closed at that point in time.
So it's not like closed trades with a loss, but as long as it's floating, loss is counted already.
So we get a lot of that. Sometimes traders go to bed and they wake up and they've lost allocation account, but they'll say, why? I didn't lose 10% because the market hit 10% and it obviously the Axi Select account might have reversed a little bit by that time. So at any point in time, the allocation account has a hard stop loss on equity at 10%.
Okay, got it. So one of the questions from YouTube to clarify what is mentioned, all right, the question would be, so if we are in this Axi Select program, we are to trade 100 trades per month, is it okay?
Yeah, you can place as many trades as you like per month. There's no maximum. You can trade, it's only the minimum. There's no maximum.
Okay, all right. That's one question on the EA is that I use the EA to place limit orders and manage the trade, like shifting the stop loss, taking partial profit. Is this allowed on the Axi Select account? This is precisely very relevant to us, Greg, because that's the function of the EA that we are providing to the students, because that is a trade management EA, because sometimes that we use the EA to drag a line. So instead of keying it manually, we use the EA to drag the line to a support resistance, and that allows us to do a limit order, and the EA will automatically shift the stop loss for us to when we are sleeping or we are working, you see. So the question is very, very relevant, whether it's being allowed.
So the problem with that is, let's say you shift the limit order on an EA. You're going to shift that for 10 accounts, 50 accounts, 100 accounts. So what happens when the market hits that price? We're going to have 100 orders come through at the exact same time. So even from a risk perspective, you can see how much risk that is for us if 100 people place the exact same trade at the same point in time. So it's not allowed.
But the EA is not copied though, because they are going to use the EA individually themselves.
But that's not an EA giving order to 100 people to place the same trade at the same price.
They are going to use the EA and put it inside their own account to trade. but it's an EA that's in their own account and
Right.
that is not being copied.
If they're placing that order in their own account, then that's not going to be a problem.
Okay, so I think let me just sum it up, right? This EA is if I am a trader, I use an EA and I use the EA to place a limit order. I use the EA to adjust my stop loss to take partial profit, and it's not being copied or to some other people. I'm use it solely for my own use. Is that allowed?
As long as it's not going to be multiple accounts at the same order from it, it'll be fine.
Okay. So I guess
so just to sort of clarify the part that we penalize, what we don't want in the EA, we don't want an EA to place the same order for multiple clients. And we don't want an EA that's going to be basically trading with our funds, which defeats the whole purpose of the program. But if the EA is changing orders and it's on an individual basis and it's going to be different for different accounts, there's no problem with that.
Okay. So in this case, just clear up that we are able to use Alum to place for our own trade. All right. I think that this is quite clear that we have no problem using Alum, which is the trade management EA that we have. As long as you don't copy to other accounts, that's fine. Or you don't take other people's trades and copy it and put it into the Axi Select. You just use your own EA and place it in your own Axi Select account and period. That's it. That's allowed.
Yes.
I think that's clear. All right, good. Let me just take a look at the list of questions that we have. Thanks a lot, Nancy. I know that you love Alum. If you can, just hit the like button right now to say that you love this streaming. Thanks a lot. Okay. Let me see, what other questions do you have? So the EA can auto trading. Yes, the EA can be used for auto trading. Yes. But that is to use for more of a placing of trades, because the EA that we have, right, which is the robot that we have, would help us, especially when we are working, will help us to automatically place trades. But that's based on our direction. Okay, that means that that's based on our setting. I can go through a little bit about the EA that we are using just to let the rest of the audiences have a better idea. All right. So one of the questions, Greg, was that what are the tools and Axi Selects that can help the viewers and traders to become better traders?
So the first one is the edge score, which, as we sort of discussed, we are working on creating individual comments to the accounts, which will really help traders understand. But it also looks from at the subcomponent, it tells you if your risk management's bad or your skills bad or your consistency. So it's there to assist traders to understand what they're good at, what needs work, how they can improve it. So that's where the edge score comes in. The trading room, we're about to ramp it up in terms of webinars, analysis, but we still have daily analysis going through there, direct part to be part of a community, to have access to professional traders on a daily basis is something that really shaped my trading journey. I always say that's when my trading started, was when I found my group. I started trading in 2007, 2011, I found my trading group, and that's where I realized the importance of having that community and why it's so important for traders. The dashboard is there to provide statistics, and you can see, your number of winning trades, your losing trades, some of your major ratios, which is always important to have. The leaderboard is there to see what other traders are up to and to see their performances for you to get an idea of how other people are progressing on the program. And we're still looking to add more. So that's what we have at the moment. I think, Binni, when we met, I told you, and I'm happy to mention it here, we are looking to include an online journal. We are busy with tech and tech stack at the moment. I believe it's been delayed more than I would have liked, but it is something we're looking to do, to create an online journal and a risk calculator to tell you how much you're risking per trade from a monetary value is something we're looking to do too. We recently ran a survey and we saw taking in some of our client views off the back of that and what else we could do. So what we want to do is we want to create tools that are going to help traders. We want all the tools that traders need. And those are two that I've identified that I'd like. There are more which we are working on or will be adding, but those are the first two most likely. So there's a sneak preview to Binni for Binni and your
Okay, that's great.
team.
Yeah, thank you. I think I want to answer this, right? Because the way that I see it is that imagine you have a trading account and you have Axi Select account, right? So if you can trade in Axi Select account, you do get a measurement of your scoring. Okay, although we do not know the formula, but the scoring would be something that you would want to know, because then as long as you meet that edge score, like 50, it sort of, give you a bit of assurance that you are good in the opinion of a broker. All right. Then they are willing to part with their money to invest in you. But of course, you need to show them the performance. Okay. So I guess that if you are looking at trading, if there's no difference between a normal Axi account and a Axi Select account, I would prefer an Axi Select account. At least, sort of you get a bit of a measurement and indication what are the things you need to be improved. Okay, so that's really what I've gotten out from this whole session. I just want to clarify, because there are some questions on the EA that we are using. The name is called Alum. All right, two questions here. Yes, you can use Alum to place trades in Axi Select. Okay, you can do that. All right, as long as what they are looking out for and what they do not allow, as they don't want the trades to be copied from somebody else. Okay, so that's the whole concept. You can't copy that trade from somebody else. Okay, but you can use your own robot, which is Alum, for example, to place the trades. Okay, so this one clears up. All right. So Dennis asked, so everyone starts Axi Select at the seed level, no matter what their edge score is?
No. So the process works is you set up an account. So let's say you're a new client. You set up an account, you don't have an edge score. In order to get an edge score, you have to place 20 trades. If after the 20 trades, your edge score is 50 or more, and you have $500 in the account, then you start at the seed stage. You can click to go to the seed stage. Yeah. If your score is not 50, you can keep trading on Axi Select until you have a score of 50, and then you can qualify. If you're already an Axi client and any one of your trading accounts at Axi has a score of 50, then if you deposit $500 in your Axi Select account, you can start at the seed stage. So we need to see you have a score of 50 in any one of your existing accounts, or you need to achieve that in your Axi Select account by placing 20 trades.
Okay. So what I understand, right, from our students is that a lot of you already qualify that scoring. That means that you already have an edge score of 50 already, and you're already invited. So this is what I understood from our client base, right? So please go and check your client portal. Would they receive an email to say that their edge score is 50 and to invite them?
Yes, there are various emails that go out to tell clients, hey, you've got an edge score of 50. Have you considered Axi Select? There are those emails. But let's say you don't know about Axi Select, and you with Axi and you've got an account, you can go to your client portal, you can click on the Axi Select, and you'll be able to join from there and immediately go to the seed stage. So that will all be there. You'll get your credentials via email to say you've qualified to log into the dashboard. So it will automatically allow you onto the program at seed.
All right. So there's a follow-up questions of how to check the edge score. You have to go to a client portal. What we will do as well is that tomorrow we're gonna send this video out to you as a video replay. We will also include the link to the Axi portal for you to check your edge score. So everybody, please either to get Axi account right now, Axi Select right now, okay, or to to just use the client portal and check your edge score. All right.
So yeah, there are two ways. Initially, you can always see it in your client portal on Axi, but once you qualify for seed, you can actually in the client portal there'll be a link to go to the dashboard, and in the dashboard you'll be able to see a more detailed table which shows your edge score at all times.
Yeah. Do you happen to have like a slides or anything to show how they can check their edge scores on hand?
Literally, if you go into the Axi client portal and you look at your accounts, you click on accounts and it will show you all your accounts with all your different edge scores.
Yeah. Okay, no worry, don't worry, Edmund. We will just give you the link and then we will give you a slides tomorrow in the follow-up email, and you should be able to see that. All right.
And even in the top right-hand corner, you'll see your top edge score. So even if you log into the Axi client portal, you'll see your top edge score at the top right, and you'll be able to click on account and see all your edge scores. It's very difficult to miss if you're in the client portal.
Okay. All right. One of the questions is that the trade that I execute in the Axi Select account and the Axi account is different. Am I right? I think the answer is yes, you're right. Am I right, Greg?
Sorry, I don't quite understand that question.
The question is that the trades that I executed in Axi Select account
Yes.
are different from the Axi MT4 account or MT4 account, yeah.
So you'll get, when you join Axi Select, you'll get an MT4 login for your Axi Select account, and those trades placed in your Axi Select MT4 account are Axi Select. If you have another account at Axi, that will be a different MT4 account.
Yeah. So you need to, if you have an existing MT4 account, you need to apply for Axi Select account. Okay, you can't use the existing MT4 account to qualify to place the Axi Select trades. Basically, you need two accounts, right? So the question would be, the trades that you place in Axi account, is it different from Axi Select? Is different?
Yes.
Yeah.
You need to use your Axi Select account for progression on the Axi Select program.
Correct. Yeah. But some of the clients already, how to say, if you have already an Axi account, you already have a measurement of your edge score. So you can just go and see, and if you have edge score of more than 50, all right, then you can automatically, just get an Axi Select account and progress to the next stage, right?
Yeah, so you can use that to progress, but then you still must place trades on your new Axi Select account, because you need to then get a score for your new account, and you got to use that score to progress through incubation, acceleration through the stages.
Yep. Okay. So my point is that since you already want to trade, may as well get an Axi Select account and trade with that. Use it to measure your score so you know where you are. Okay. There's one question from Eric, but at the seed stage, my earlier edge score, say 50 and above, will be reset to 0. I don't quite understand this question. At the seed stage, my earlier edge score was 50 and above. It will be reset to 0. I think if it's reset to 0.
So let me explain that. I think I understand the question. So basically, if you're an existing Axi client, we give you the benefit of skipping the qualification of proving yourself by placing 20 trades and having a score about 50. So you immediately go to the seed stage. But once you're at the seed stage, you're now starting to trade on your Axi Select account. Your new Axi Select account does not have a score. So you have to place 20 trades to get a score on this new account. Once you place 20 trades and the score has an account, this is your new edge score. This is your score for the program. So a new client places 20 trades, gets a score, qualifies, starts the program. The existing client goes, we don't allow you to show your trading already at the seed stage, but you still need your new account with a new score for progression on the program. You just give you the benefit of using an old account to start at the seed stage, but you still got to get a new score. So your score is 0, because ultimately, once you get a score in Axi Select, your other scores from your other Axi accounts are now irrelevant. We don't look at those again. You can't requalify on those accounts. You've now got an Axi Select score.
Okay, got it. So if they are existing Axi clients, they can transfer, let's say, $500 to the Axi Select account, right? Can they do that?
Correct. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
You can transfer it. No problem.
So you don't need to have new funding. You can just take your existing Axi account and transfer the money to the Axi Select. Okay, this works very well for our program, because remember that our course fee is fully refunded. You have to fund like 5,000 to get the free course, right? Course fee fully refunded. Then the funding that you have 5,000, you can transfer $500 and go and try Axi Select. All right. That's good. Now, there's one question here. I understand that martingale are not allowed. Are layering with the same lot size allowed? Or only single trade each with stop loss and TP be allowed?
Okay, I don't want to get to the absolute crux of it that will come out with our explainers. But you are going to be penalized for martingale strategy. It is penalized.
Yeah, I think that layering means that probably they want to put multiple trades inside.
Yeah, I mean, it's an issue that we see a lot of in the retail space when it comes to the martingale strategy and just averaging into losses. It is going to be penalized if that is a strategy. It is a strategy that has been picked up as a common strategy that loses over time. And there is a penalty. Now, I know it's a difficult one because if you pre-plan to averaging into losing trades, it's not actually a negative trade, right? If you size it in a certain manner. Now, for me to answer exactly how it will react to that and how much it will affect it is a very difficult thing to do. And I don't want to go down that route right now. But what I can say without question, if you're averaging into losing trades, you are going to be penalized.
You're going to affect your
from
score.
That component. It is going to affect your score. Doesn't mean it's going to have a huge effect on your score, but it is going to affect your score.
Yeah. Okay. I think there's a common questions that I'm looking at the questions right now, right? Is that they want to know how can I get 50 points in the edge score? You have to trade.
Yeah, you've got to place 20 unique trades. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's probably a good time to explain what a unique trade is. Unique trade is opening and closing a position. So if you buy 0.0, if you buy 0.1 lots gold, 0.1 lots gold, 0.1 lot gold, and then close 0.3 lots gold, that counts as one trade. If you buy 0.1 lot gold, sell 0.1 lot gold, buy 0.1, sell 0.1, those are new trades. So we get a common question of why I've placed 30 trades, why don't I have a score? We do have a counter which tells you how many unique trades you place, but just be in mind it's opening and closing of an instrument. If you open multiple positions before you close them, it's going to count as only one trade.
Okay, I got it. All right, I think with our strategy, we should be easily able to hit that 20 trades in a month. And as I said, right, a lot of our students already have a 50 and higher than 50 edge scores. Okay, so this is as far as what I understand, they already have it already. All right. So don't be concerned. One of the things that after this session, you will find that I'll make announcement. Let's help one another to get a better edge score. If I help them to get a better edge score, is that allowed, Greg?
Absolutely. As long as they place their own trades in their own account, that's all good. As long as you don't place the trades for them.
Yes. Okay. Is there a limit period to when the 25 trades or 50 edge points to reach? Is there a limit period?
No, there's no maximum period. You can, there's no minimum period. Sorry. You could trade, you can take as long as you like to achieve your score. We don't penalize you. No maximum, sorry.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so keep your questions coming, but we don't have a lot of time, but just keep your questions here. If I see any questions, I will just ask that to Greg. And because I'm meeting with Luis next week, he's flying over. Luis is the COO of Axi and also my good friend. So you know, we are always meeting constantly to see how we can bring more values to Singapore and my clients as well. So if you do have any other requests, any other things that you like Axi to help you to become better trader, send it to me. You know my contact, right? So any last questions for Greg before I take over the sessions to just go through how we can be better traders? You can ask the questions in YouTube chat. That will be easier right now so I can see the questions immediately. Greg, is there any tips that you can share with my clients on how they can really be funded $1 million? Or rather, what are those people that you know, you said 2% made it to the pro stage, right? What kind of traders are there?
Two traders have made it
yeah.
at the moment.
Yeah.
Look, it's not going to be easy. right? And so it shouldn't be. If you have $1 million of money to trade, you need to be a good trader. What we do require, and ultimately what we hope to achieve with our tools, is to assist traders to improve and to get there, and to give you a fair opportunity to do so. But it's not for everybody to be having $1 million of our funds, right? You need to be a good trader. You need to be able to manage risk. You need to be able to generate profits. You need to have curves that are not, non-volatile curves. And ultimately, yeah, it's not easy. You need to make 5% per stage, but we've seen quite a few of our clients have a score above 90. But ultimately, they've also got to keep that up, right? You can't just do it over one trade. You have to do it over a certain amount of trades, and you've got to prove yourself. Where we do have coming as well, I believe it's going to be live in a week, maybe a bit longer, but not too much longer, is the ability to reset your edge score. So we're going to allow traders to reset their score once a quarter. And ultimately, if you're not happy with your score and you've been trading for a few months and you decide, I want to start the program again, you'll be able to do so, and you'll be able to start to rework on your edge score. So maybe you started off and you've been trading for, say, 6 months and you were learning, but now you want to try again because you haven't progressed and you're a better trader to get a better score, which should actually help traders as well as they improve to be able to have that ability to have higher scores and to reach the higher stages. So I'm hoping that will assist traders in getting better edge scores over time as well.
Thanks, Greg. I think what I like to do is to take like 5 minutes of all your time to share what I have here to help you improve your score. Okay, so as I said, right, for my assisting students, we're gonna work together to get 50 and to move you guys to the pro stage. All right, so this would come very soon as tomorrow, my session with you. But for those who haven't joined us, this is what we traded. Okay, we basically traded the wash and rinse, meaning that look at this green color arrow here, thick here, right? So that is automatically drawn. So this was our signal. So we do capture quite very nice move, and that's going to help you improve your edge score. Okay, so we trade into multiple instruments, not only gold, but we do Forex, and we do like Bitcoin as well, and we do stocks as well. Okay. All right. So basically how we trade was that we have a dashboard that gives us a, how to say, clues on when the trades are happening. Look at the one that lights up here, and that's where the alerts would be sent to a handphone so we don't miss any trades. And we have all the indicators all drawn from you. I'm sure that we'll meet all the requirements for Axi Select, including the use of our EA. So I've checked that, no issue already. The nice part is that if you take our costs, okay, then the full cost fee would be fully paid back to you. Okay, so our cost fee is 1,200 Sing dollar, including a loss cover. That means a $500 loss would be refunded back to you if you make that initial loss of $500, right? The most important thing is I've calculated we'll be doing like 300 support sessions in a year. It's almost like every day we have one session to go through review the trades. And the nice things would be that you get your cost feedback. Okay, so let me just ask my students out there, how many of you had gotten your course feedback? If yes, please type at the chat box in YouTube 1. Okay, I'm waiting for your response. How many of you have gotten the course feedback? Please type at the chat box to 1. Thank you very much. Okay, how do you get that? First, you have to sign for our course, and second, you have to make a $5,000 funding, minimum 5,000 Sing dollar funding, all right? And you trade 2 trades, 2 standard lots, not 2 trades, 2 standard lots, all right, within 90 days. And you get that $1,200 cash back to your trading account, and you are free to withdraw that money because that's cash, is your money, right? So this is how Axi pays you in terms of reward you, all right, or get your cost fee back, all right. On top of that, you do have that $500 loss cover. What does it mean is that we are sincere, okay, to make sure that you know how to place a trade, you know how to trade. And we know that when people first started trading, right, you are scared, you don't do well, you just learned. So that first $500 of loss will be fully refunded to you. Okay, so in a way that the whole package will be $1,700. Okay, so it goes to how sincere we are to help you. Plus the Axi Select, we are going to help you to push to the next stage for you to get funded. All right, at least to get that edge score, that's that 50 scores, 50 points, right? Okay, so how do you register for the course? Please go to this site here, which is bit.ly/Tor plus. And the good news is that the offer is still available. The bad news would be that the promotion is until 30th of June. Okay, so I make this amount, this date of why is 30th of June is because that this is the last date of our promotion. I have not discussed new deal yet with Axi. Okay, I'm going to meet up with Louis to see whether they're interested to provide the promotion again. So if you do have friends or yourself, please join and take up the program. You just have to pay before 30th of June and you have 90 days to get that refund. Okay, it's very easy. You just have to fund $5,000 and you just have to make 2 standard lot, okay, in terms of Forex, and you get back the course fee. Okay, what is the minimum age to do this course? I think there is no minimum age to do this course, but there is a minimum age to get a trading account. Okay, I believe that to get Axi trading account, I believe it's 21 or 18. I can't remember that already. I also do not know. Let me just find the question for you. But there's no minimum age to do the course, but there's a minimum age to get a trading account. All right, so one of the student feedback that I'm an old student, I got my course fee back and my capital back within 2 weeks. Thanks a lot, Infish. All right, capital back. Yeah, so that's very, very important. All right, Greg, is there one last thing that you would like to share with my students here? Just one last thing.
Yes, I'll share one last thing.
Yeah.
Axi Select is something that has changed the prop firm space. It is something that we are fully committed to as a company. We're fully committed to improving it. So if you've got any ideas or suggestions, we literally discuss all of them and take them on board. Our job is to create a program that ultimately gives benefit to you as a trader. So if there's something you'd like to see, please feel free to let me know. I'm pretty active in our trading room. I do answer questions in there as well. So feel free to find me in the trading room, where I'll happily answer any questions. But otherwise, understand trading's difficult. You're not going to become a millionaire overnight. Take your time, go through the program, and give it a go. Any questions, let me know.
Okay, thanks, Greg. Any questions, let me know, and I'll make sure I send the questions to Greg. If there's anything, you can just let your account manager knows about it as well. And with this, I'm going to end the session, and thanks a lot for joining. I'll see you in my regular sessions, and I'll see you in my next streaming. Thanks a lot, Greg. Have a good night. It's
Thank you very much,
11, near to 11 p.m. in Sydney. All right. Thanks a lot for joining. Bye, everybody. Good night.
Thank you.